I don't know if I should talk about this, but like, yeah. Hello everyone, welcome to the Edward White Audio Thoughts. This again is story time where I just give you my thoughts and yeah, make home content. I really honestly didn't feel like doing this video today, and that's kind of where I'm going to base my thoughts around today, I think. Just in the sense that like my motivation levels have been right down today, and yeah, really struggled to get anything done, to really put anything into motion. And what I find that like when I get into one of those moods, I start drinking more coffee, I start going on social media more, I start doing like these bad habits that and I know they're bad, and I know they're not going to help me in any way, but for some reason my brain seems to think that they will help. But by like, yeah, and then I don't want to do anything and it just gets really hard. But I think for me, one thing that helps a lot is like going out for a walk and getting sun exposure to sunlight, and also listening to a podcast. Pardon me. And I think, yeah, the one that I'm listening to at the minute is literally on this sort of subject of being transparent, being honest, because everyone's kind of going out there showing you the lives and how sort of great it is, but then in reality, like, everyone's struggling. And I think like with obviously everything that's going on in terms of coronavirus and how the sort of whole world's changed, I think there's a lot more conversation around it, which is good. But I feel like there needs to be more, and there needs to be more transparency. Just because I think a lot of people will feel like 10 times better. Yeah, and I just like a bit fed up with it now. That's honestly how I'm feeling. I'm just a bit fed up with it. I wanna go shoot with clients. I want to go to raves. That's what I want to do as well. Is I want to, yeah, go. I miss like going to festivals and going to, like, I don't go to loads, but like just really miss it and really want to go back. Yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. Thought I'd be honest. It was one of my goals this year when I started, that I was going to be more honest and more transparent, and then trying to document it and put it out there publicly. The podcast episode that I'm listening to at the minute talks about this, and they talk about how a lot of people will go through their lives and they might not necessarily be showing you the best in terms of, oh, here, look at my flashy car, look at my watch, house, whatever. It's just more in terms of like how they're actually feeling emotionally and how they're going about their day. Whereas I think a lot of people try and hide it, and they've almost got this public life and personal life, and they don't kind of mix the two. Whereas I think if you can try and mix the two and try and sort of put your real self out there, because then vulnerability and authenticness leads to people feeling that connection towards you, and I think it will really work. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Like, don't ask me how to do that, because I think it comes from like being really sort of self-aware and just knowing who you are as an individual, and knowing that you're comfortable with it, and like really knowing that like whenever anyone does anything substantial, whether that's they start a business, they develop a brand, they become an athlete, they become a singer, they become a director, anything that they do, they've gone through a lot of struggles, and they've had days where they literally just think like, is it all worth it? And like, I've had those a lot today, just in the sense that like, what am I doing? But it's those days that I think almost helps you to put into perspective of how far you have come and how far you are going to go if you just persevere and keep going. Yeah, because being sort of at one with your vulnerabilities is like, it's like you almost owning it and being comfortable with it. Whereas I think if you just deny anything in terms of like, oh yeah, I'm fine, I can do it, whatever. Like, whereas like I'm really struggling this week. Sorry if this is jumpy. This is the format of this show, where I just sit here with my camera and my light and talk to you guys. And I hope that I'm able to offer some people value, and I hope that like it just gives you a little bit of light in terms of what you're doing. Because I really think, like, I used to put out a lot of motivational content and it felt like, didn't feel genuine to me, so I kind of stopped. But I do think people need to kind of keep going and persevere, just keep doing what you're doing, because you're going to do good things, and all it takes is you understanding that and you keeping going, keeping at it. Yeah. Anything else I want to talk about? No, I can't think of them. Just keep doing what you're doing and understand that, like, try and really take a really long look at how your life is going to pan out. So at the minute I'm 25. In 10 years time I'm going to be 35, which like isn't even that old. And in 20 years time I'm going to be 45, which again isn't even that old. Like, and I just think if you, no matter what age you're at, if you look at like that in that perspective, like you can achieve so much even within like the space of a year. But just by doing it, like by looking at it like, right, well, I can do this in 20 years. I think that helps a lot. And like, yeah, this is me just telling myself all of this so that I can keep going, keep persevering. But again, I didn't feel like recording this video today. And I think that, for me, is the difference between people who can take a bigger vision and those who just kind of don't. Because I literally felt myself doing it today. Like, I don't know if I should talk about this, but like, yeah, drinking coffee and masturbating. It's like one of those things that you just think, oh yeah, I'll just do that because it gives you that short little dopamine hit. But like, those are bad, and you just gotta like, I think really look at the habits and the things that you're doing and your kind of worldview of what you're achieving. Because yeah, I genuinely do think like, don't let yourself fall into bad habits just because you're having one bad day. And you will have bad days, and you'll get days where you just don't do anything and it feels like a write-off. But I think if you can kind of see where it is happening and then change that, put it into like motion of going, all right, I'm gonna go for a walk, listen to a podcast, and then record the video. And I think put that into motion, start it. You won't feel like doing it, but once you've done it for that certain amount of time, it will then click. Yeah, sorry for sharing that with you. But I do think, yeah, a lot of people do it. A lot of people will watch Netflix, they'll binge watch Netflix, they'll eat shitty food, which again makes you feel bad. They'll aimlessly scroll through social media, which again makes you feel bad. They'll engage in pointless conversations with people that don't offer their lives value. And yeah, they'll just go through life living day to day sort of like that. And it does feel like that's been amplified a little bit more now that people are working from home. I think for me, it's like I really like routine, and this is like completely flipped it on the head. And it's hard for me to get into anything. But I think, yeah, by just starting, just keeping going, yeah. It's really hard to do these videos as well, because I get days where I just don't want to do it. I just can't be asked. No one's going to listen. No one's watching. And again, that little voice in my head just goes, just keep doing it, just keep doing it. Because every time you do it, you're building on blocks, and you get to the next step, you get to the next sort of not level, but you just develop and you just grow. And I think, yeah, by putting out your thoughts, putting out content and sharing that with the world, I think there's value in that somehow. Plus, again, I do want to look back and I want to see how I've developed. I want to see if my points of like what I'm saying are actually true, and like if I still, essentially, this is like my way of journaling, just like brain dumping all my thoughts into video and podcast form, sharing it with the world, and then hopefully it does pay off and works. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these. I'm gonna try and keep these on. I'm gonna try and keep these going. Story time with me. But it's disheartening when you see other people's content and how well it's doing and stuff, and then you don't see the work that they put in, the struggles that they've had. But just keep going, okay? You got this. Peace out. Yeah, I'm ending this now.